Let's talk the two approaches that are out there when it comes to your day trading, and these will be the foundations from all your trade plans and how they're built. I'm not here to say which one is right or wrong, but what I am saying is that when you boil down all the different day trading strategies out there, they're all being built from this general idea. This all came from a YouTube comment I got. If you're not familiar with the channel, at the end of every day, I do a top 10 analysis of different stocks out there, and I got this comment. Guy literally picking the most obvious charts to examine. And I mean, I guess that's fair. You can call me Captain Obvious.
I'm Captain Obvious.
But I would argue there's a lot of value in doing this, as I'll explain in a little bit. But that is sort of one of the approaches. We'll just call it the obvious approach. And then he draws a weird parallel, something telling me this is 100% BS. Now this is a little... Again, I'm not quite sure how he connected these two dots, but I don't know, apparently for him or other people that are thinking there's some sort of BS because I'm picking obvious charts, I want to explain why, and in doing so, this is what illustrates the two different approaches out there. So clearly this guy takes the other approach, and he's not wrong in that. So what are these two approaches? Well, it all comes down to essentially risk and where do you feel most comfortable with. So for me, I like those obvious charts. Why is that the case? Well, let's go to my virtual chalkboard and let's talk about it. Now, when I do my trading, and as we're gonna call it, reactive traders, well, what are they reacting to? Well, they are reacting to news, hype, volume. In other words, they're looking at a big old movement that's done something like this. So there has been a big upwards movement, and because they're reacting, well, it's not like they're in down here because they're reacting to the move. So maybe a reactive trader is going to be getting in somewhere right around here, and I'm just making that up, but that's where the reactive trader, we'll call it the RT trader, is getting in. So a fair critique of this strategy is right here, is looking down here and saying, well, you missed out on all that move. You're absolutely right. You did miss out on all that move. But there was a risk that was overcome. What risk was overcome? Well, the risk of nothing happening. The risk of, well, no party ever starting.
Yeah, the devil is everyone.
And that's where we now need to hop on over to the speculative type of approach. So over here, yes, there's definitely a starting point. You are speculating. What the reason is, that could be various things. But right here, a speculative trader, they are going to be buying. They're going to be entering in right there. That would be their entry. But notice something right now. All we have is that yellow line. All we have is the entry. And that is where the first bit of risk comes into play, because as I just talked about, well, what if nothing ever happens? What if there is no box, right? Now over here, there is a box, and that is what we are reacting to because something is happening. But speculation, what if nothing happens? Now, to be fair, again, if that person is right and there's this big old box, well, check it out. They got a very, very nice entry point. They have all sorts of profit potential because they did indeed get that box. But, well, we have to consider the counter to that. And this is where there's actually two layers of risk. Now, the first layer of risk is, does a box even show up? Does anything ever even happen? So that is layer risk number one. But then there's that second layer of risk, which you also have to consider, and what I think oftentimes gets overlooked. So here is, we'll call it just our A+ situation right here. But like I said, there's another situation. So again, right here, we have our entry. And then let's say that a box does show up. So, okay, a box shows up. Fair enough, that layer of risk has been overcome. But, well, what happens if the box does this? Now what? Well, now you're in a whole lot of pain. In other words, when you're doing the speculation approach, not only do you have the risk of something never happening, but you have the risk of being wrong in terms of what direction does it happen? What direction does that box go? That is why, me personally, I like to react. I like to let action happen. I like to let the volume come in and then start to form trade plans based on that. And yes, that will cost me being able to capture full movements. It's never going to give me the best possible entry point, but I'm willing to sacrifice the best possible entry point just for, in trading jargon, confirmation. Confirmation of what? Well, confirmation that something is happening, and then ideally a little bit more confirmation of what will potentially happen next. So that is what you have to boil things down to. Where are you at? Some people are really good at speculating. They think, you know what, I think this is going to happen, and I think the direction is going to happen, and they can get those things right. But I'm not so good at that. And that's why I would rather just wait for it to happen and then let for data to develop, let for trading to occur, and then start to form trade plans based on that. So there is nothing sketchy by myself or somebody else that's talking about obvious stocks. No, we're just the traders that are reacting to those situations. But if you're good at speculating and you don't even need to react to anything because you're in before the party even starts, well then fantastic, good for you. But I've tried that and I've had too many of those situations where I'm saying, hey, where is everybody? There's no party. And then, or I think that I'm speculating the right way. Something does happen, but then it happens in the wrong direction. And again, that's not to say that you can't be good at it. But for me, I just prefer the approach where I'm waiting for more confirmation and then reacting to the events that are occurring. And I personally use technical analysis and technical candlestick charts to make those decisions. But again, those sorts of things will be up to you. So those are going to be the two kinds of approaches. Are you doing more so the speculation or are you reacting? And neither of those is sketchy. Neither of those is 100% BS. There's nothing shady going on. It's just two different ways that you can approach a trade and then build the trade plan from there. So I hope this helps. Let me know down below. Well, what is your preferred method? What's your preferred approach? Do you like to do the more so speculation or do you like to react such as myself? Let me know down in the comment section. But if you have any other questions or anything like that, again, please leave those down below. Make sure to check out my site at claytrader.com. Thanks for watching. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.